Welcome back to the channel, Survivors. Today we're going to be diving into a brand new survival sandbox genre game. This one is called Aloft. It's a cozy co-op sandbox survival game where you can soar freely through a beautiful world of floating islands. Each one of these islands will boast its own living ecosystem, and the adventures you have here are absolutely breathtaking. In Aloft, you can build a home and a helm. You can transform any island into your own personal skyship to set sail for the ever-present hurricane in the distance. The sense of freedom and exploration that you experience in this game is top-notch. The developers have created a space where you can truly choose your own path, whether that's engaging in combat or simply exploring and building. But what makes Aloft stand out? Let's talk about three things that I absolutely love about this game. First up, the blueprint discovery system. I absolutely love how you can unlock blueprints by combining different items. It's such a creative and rewarding way to discover new recipes. As you adventure around these different islands, you'll collect a handful of items, and then it will notify you in your inventory that you have new recipes that you can uncover by combining different items. And I really love this. I think it's a very rewarding system, and it's a new creative, fresh take on unlocking different recipes compared to the standard survival games out there. And in addition to combining items to discover new recipes, you can also find blueprints and recipes hidden throughout the world across these islands by simply exploring and finding tablets or like items to look at or scan, utilizing a tool we'll talk about later on to then discover the new blueprints. It's just a very cool and creative way. And the second thing I love is just the vast open world exploration. It reminds me a lot of games like Raft, but instead of you being in the ocean, you're actually exploring the skies with floating islands. There are so many places to discover and rewards to uncover, man. It makes your exploration absolutely worth your time, and it keeps you curious enough to just explore for hours on end. And the third thing that I love about Aloft is that it is a feel-good survival game. It's more about rewarding positive action than punishing mistakes. The skies themselves will provide everything that you need. You can cook up delicious meals for buffs, you can gather resources to craft tools and new things, and you can explore the world to find new technologies. You name it, the game doesn't really punish you for not doing any of these things. It gives you the freedom to pick and choose, but it heavily rewards you for taking those actions compared to punishing you for not doing those things. Now, with that being said, let's dive into some additional details about Aloft. One, it's a cozy survival game set in the clouds where you can transform any island into a flying ship and explore the vast skies. Whether you're navigating the world, gathering resources, or building your dream home, it's all simply about creating a space that feels uniquely yours. But you can't avoid combat entirely, as some resources can only be had from the corrupted islands, and on those islands you do have fungi that you have to fight and defeat in order for you to start the cleansing process of that island to then gather whatever that resource is. So while you do have the freedom to kind of do whatever you want in Aloft, whatever your heart desires, you still are going to have to seek out some resources at some point if you want to progress even further. Additionally, Aloft's new demo expands significantly upon the previous one. The starting environment has been revamped with a new starter island and a reworked island cluster, providing a fresh experience right from the get-go. The resource and progression system has also been fine-tuned, making the early game more engaging and intuitive. Additionally, they've introduced frescoes, which are ancient repositories of knowledge that will unlock key technologies. The ecosystem restoration mechanic is another exciting addition. With the field guide, you can now access and improve the health of an island by inoculating trees, planting wildflowers, and adding animals. This not only restores the island's health, but will also unlock resources and areas that were previously inaccessible. They have added new wilderness assets, like harvesting wild seeds to decorate your home and restore the island's ecosystems, collect reishi mushrooms to craft bandages or grow more mushrooms at the base of trees. They've added elder trees, bugs, and new corruption nodes that give the game even more depth to its gameplay. On top of that, the developers have also added new enemies like the Coward and new assets like rock salt and charcoal. They've even reworked ruins and machines to include hidden treasures and new loot. Anchors and shipwrecks provide even more opportunities for discovery and technological advancement. And even the combat system in the game has seen significant improvements from previous tests. The monster variety increases with each node that you destroy. The momentum system rewards skillful fighting and gliding with powerful maneuvers, new cooking recipes, multiplayer support of up to 8 players, and numerous quality of life improvements have made Aloft better than it ever has been. And so now that we've covered the majority of what Aloft has to offer, I want to just take a second here to kind of go over my personal thoughts and experience from playing the game. Recently here, I hosted a live stream where I was playing multiplayer, and it was an absolute blast. Playing with another person was both cool and creative. The shared progression system is brilliantly designed to allow for collaboration without overshadowing each player's individual discoveries. This balance, in my opinion, keeps the gameplay engaging for everybody involved. On top of that, to be honest, the game is just visually stunning. I absolutely love how cozy it is majority of the time. With the soothing music playing in the background, it's very easy to get lost in the exploration and building aspects of the game. I found myself completely immersed in the beauty of just the floating islands and flying around in the sky. Each one of them have their own unique ecosystem, and then really just discovering what thrives for that ecosystem and trying to cleanse it to uncover whatever rewards there is just absolutely addicting. Additionally, building a home and transforming an island into my personal skyship was an experience also like none other that I've had in other survival games. Additionally, the wind mechanic that allows you to harness the winds to automate machinery in production added a much strategic layer to the gameplay. It also felt very rewarding to just simply explore the different islands to find new technologies and resources. I love the ability to create a cozy farm that is complete with different seeds and plants and animals. It just really makes Aloft feel very vibrant and alive. And however, on the flip side though, it's not all about the cozy tranquility from it. You also have to adventure to these dark places, these corrupted islands, to cleanse the corruption of these mushrooms, for instance, this fungi, and that itself is a thrilling challenge. Defeating these enemies and restoring the island's ecosystems felt incredibly satisfying. The new demo's expansion also helped to support up to 8 players co-op, which would make this game even more excited, allowing for larger group adventures. In discovering the frescoes, ancient repositories of knowledge, and stumbling upon mysterious ruins like shipwrecks offered a lot of depth to the exploration. These elements provided new blueprints and technologies that enriched the gameplay experience for everyone playing. In order to thrive in Aloft, so must the nature around you. Healing and strengthening each island's ecosystem to guard against the spreading fungus corruption is a core aspect of the game that I thoroughly enjoyed. Overall, in my opinion, Aloft is a fantastic game that beautifully blends exploration, creativity, and survival. I highly recommend giving it a shot whether you're playing solo or with friends. And that Survivors officially wraps up Aloft and what you guys need to know or expect for the game, at least in its current base version here for the demo that we were able to jump in and test out. Obviously, if you guys have tested this out and you haven't done so already, drop a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. I'm here on your first impressions, and if you guys did play the demo, be sure to make sure that you guys reach out and give the feedback that is necessary here for these developers to actively work on this game prior to its official early access release coming up this fall in 2024. I honestly think that the developers have done a very good job leading up until this point, and just judging it based on previous betas and, playtests that I have been involved in leading up to this one, I really think there's been significant improvements. And to top it off, I think adding Funcom in here as a publisher for Aloft is a very good and smart strategic move. Funcom has a really good successful survival crafting game, Conan Exiles, under its belt, and they're currently working on a new one on the horizon, which is Dune Awakening. I think utilizing their knowledge, backing up behind the developers of Aloft, I think is going to make a really good combination, and I'm excited to see the future of Aloft unfold in the survival genre. As always, guys, if you want to check out this game, I believe currently at the time of recording this video, it still technically has a demo available on the Steam store, so feel free to download it and check it out and play through it, because again, I think it's absolutely worth it. But nevertheless, you can, at the end of the day, stay tuned to its early access launch here in fall of 2024. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything survival games related, including Aloft. Thank you, Funcom and Aloft, for sponsoring today's video. And with that being said, as always, guys, I'll see you on the next one.